Where does Marvel stand with the MCU Disney Plus shows? Don't worry, we finna talk about it. What's up, Geek Variants? We are back. We are going to talk about where the MCU stands within the Disney Plus meta right now, everything that's going on with their shows. And we've been doing a whole lot of backstage shit talking, trying to figure out how we're going to run this. And you were like,
Not me.
with it. Let's do it. So, the main man who wanted to talk about this stuff, Spooky Dookie up there. And we also got Deadpool freaking, bringing it in. So, look, there, Tony, what is it about the MCU that has got your whole freaking thing just all messed up?
I would say my main thing right now is they're taking well-known established characters and changing them into comedies, or they're taking characters and changing everything about them to fit a story that should have not been told. I'm not talking about Loki. Loki was great. Hawkeye, it was decent, but Hawkeye kind of relied on cameos to help carry it. But Miss Marvel, they changed almost everything about her. This was the perfect chance for you to reintroduce the Inhumans. We're not going to talk about the Inhumans TV show that came out where they cut Medusa's hair. But this was a perfect chance to bring the Inhumans in. And then She-Hulk. Okay, I understand the comics are comedy. She-Hulk is a lot more lighthearted than Hulk. But the problem with that is not everything that's in the comics can transfer to the screen. It just doesn't work. I understand people love the lighthearted haha, but y'all need to understand every character is not comedic. Deadpool, yes. Hulk, no. She-Hulk, yeah, she can be. Titana, no. No. Abomination, no. The CGI was horrible. We thought it was going to improve. Even the Daredevil fight was disappointing because of the heavy CGI. Yes, I understand. Great. Fourth wall breaking. Y'all love that. Yes, she was the first comic book character to ever do it. Yes, even before Deadpool. But if that's something you're relying on almost every single episode, then your story is weak. Every character does not need to be comedy. Thor does not need to be comedy at all. That's not what he is. But that's it. Y'all, because I'll talk for 30 more minutes about this garbage.
All right, Brent, what's your take on it before I get into it?
I had to bring notes because if you watch any of our videos from our 30-day video challenge, we're on day 26 today. I need notes. I need to be held within certain confines, or I am like Tony, and I'm just in the left field with many, many thoughts. My thoughts are just not as smart. So that's why I have notes for these things. Look, we started out with WandaVision. It was a slow start. We had a great finish. There was very, very complex characters, a good story overall told. Cap and Bucky. I know it's Falcon Winter Soldier, but that's Captain America now. It took a solid stance on a lot of things. It was a bold direction. The action was great. It paid off. It established everything that we needed it to. Loki was brilliant. There was great acting. It was not reliant upon cameos. There were a few, but it wasn't reliant upon it to make the show, and the story was very, very well told. Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac carried that show on his back, and it still didn't make it to the finish line well, which is unfortunate because Moon Knight is a great comedic character, but didn't pan out whatsoever. I think Disney's format ultimately killed it because that 6-episode format I've harped on for so long is it just doesn't work. You need at least 10 episodes to tell a congruent story where you're not trying to shove so much information into one space that things just get jumbled. Hello, Miss Marvel. I'm looking at you. You could have been a great show. You made a lot of changes. I was willing to accept that. I was one of the few that was fine with it, if you did it right. You didn't. It was a 6-episode dumpster fire with like 2 okay-ish episodes at the end. Good for you. What If? I know it's not live action. I enjoyed that though. That was a great take. I'm sure somebody else has done it better elsewhere. Sure, it's not an original idea, but it worked. Paid off for him. Hawkeye was sneaky good. It was sneaky good. It could have just been where it fit in with the MCU timeline overall, and we finally got some Clint Barton, I guess, if there were fans calling for that somewhere. But it was enjoyable. And then you dump this on us with She-Hulk. It was good for a lot of the times where you did not take yourself seriously at all.
Yeah,
but somewhere along the way,
loving this.
You shoved so many cameos in there. You forgot to tell a story. I learned nothing. Literally nothing. She-Hulk likes to have sex, and she's a lawyer. That's what I've learned about this character.
Not a good one.
And honestly, why do I care about that? Because you slap the name Marvel on there, we're above all criticism or above all judgment? Yeah, no, bro. That's not how this works. You built a solid franchise on solid films. You had a couple blunders along the way. We accepted that. But at the end of the day, you really did a lot of good things to end up where we're at now. We're not accepting the original status quo as acceptable. You can do better than this. We expect more than this. Why are we getting what we got now? There's a couple shows to look forward to for next year. Before I just never shut up, Will, you are the man, the myth, the Marvel. Tell the people how you feel, and
this is going to be fun.
Yeah, everybody knows I enjoy Marvel. So when it comes down to the shows, and again, the first section of the shows and stuff, the stuff that happened last year with WandaVision, Falcon, and Winter Soldier, all that stuff, like, again, they told stories and they were good going through as far as getting the point across for what needed to happen. Like, I get that. When we get into this second phase of MCU television, they definitely dropped the ball somewhere, because it seems like everything, again, was supposed to be funny or cameo heavy or whatever the case may be, even with some of the movies, which we'll get into that later. It just didn't seem to fit how they were trying to tell a story, because we've got an imminent threat coming. Like, Kang the Conqueror is setting up, and this is a big deal for him to be here to come and do all the things that he's going to do. I'm not comfortable being reliant on She-Hulk right now to step into the fray to do anything. Kate Bishop is still young, trying to figure stuff out. Hawkeye he's still there, but he's half-assed. And now we're trying to introduce a bunch of other characters. So it's like, I don't know. Like, you threw a lot of characters in there for like the Young Avengers and stuff. Is that the direction we're going? I'm not sure. Because again, the story is getting convoluted along the way. Now, I enjoyed the shows as they were playing out, as far as episodes. Like, there's some cool scenes here. I like some of the fight scenes and stuff. Great stuff. But when it comes down to a conducive story for where we're going, I have no idea at this point. I don't know if you're just trying to keep me guessing, or if you're just trying to, just throw some cameos in there to trash talk characters and pull them back out. Like the Wreckers debut was absolutely
the wrecking crew that the Village people were, because that's what they were. That's not the wrecking crew. And I know people are going to say that, yes, they might be C-list villains, but we're not going to act like they don't have Asgardian weapons and they bodied Thor a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense that this is what you're bringing in for us to look at, and then you just kind of throw it to the side. Abomination, his freaking outing in Incredible Hulk was fantastic. The whole way that went down, that was actually a chance to bring in and actually show us either the savage She-Hulk and stuff like that, or get a round 2 with Bruce Banner. Again, if you don't want to make the show about him, then you make it to where She-Hulk has some stakes to fight Abomination. And I expected her to actually, because Abomination has been doing something, I expected her to get bodied and stuff. And then you can set up for Hulk to come in later on, or whatever that green thing was that was standing next to him at the end of the show. I don't know what the hell that was supposed to be. Again, this is a problem for them just throwing characters in and then not explaining anything, or not keeping characters held up to the standard of what that character is supposed to be. Again, I want characters that are going to have real stakes going forward in this. And if you're not going to be able to hold your own, then what's the point of introducing them in the show? Like, if it's strictly for comedic purposes, do it in Deadpool. Do it in a show that makes sense. Like, She-Hulk is not the one right now. And I'm going to shit on She-Hulk at this point in time because, again, it's not – it started to do something, and then overall it just kind of fell off the cliff. Set up for the street level heroes. I want to know if this is what they're going to do. Spider-Man, we're supposed to have another movie. We're going to get Spider-Man. Is they're bringing Luke Cage back? Is Daredevil come back? Punisher coming back? Like, are we going to get a street level theme kind of Avengers-esque story going along? Cool, take it. But that would make sense to have some of these lower villains in here. Again, you have the Wrecking Crew, who have body freaking Thor, so like that. And you have a couple other villains that you can bring in for one-offs. You have them for a couple fights, the end of a season, a couple fights, somebody they can get rid of, whatever, setting up for a bigger threat going forward. That's fine, because that is one thing that I did see lacking throughout the Avengers universe. We had bosses and stuff as we're going through that. But, yeah, I think you could have thrown a couple more mid-level bosses in there and had it run through the show. It would have been great. With you introducing characters throughout the MCU in these television episodes, this is the biggest thing. These are shorter appearances that you're introducing a character. We have these, little montage about how this character get together. Kate Bishop, she's already an archer. She's already established as an archer and stuff like that. We don't have to have a big thing. You can have literally 2 episodes that fully introduce her, and now she's tailing Hawkeye around. Cool. Now she's being brought into the fold. You can finish telling her story throughout the series, but we didn't need a whole big outing where Captain America, he's a big character. Of course, you need a whole movie for him to be brought in. That makes sense. You're doing good as far as the shows are going for introducing the characters. But if you're going to introduce characters that aren't worth their salt, you're not holding up the caliber, then it's a problem. Again, I can rant on about this for hours on end, but they need to step up what they're going to do with the characters, how they're going to be conducive to the story, and what is the story that you're trying to tell us, because I want to be excited. Like, I'm not excited right now going forward. Am I excited to see Black Panther? Yes, I'm excited to see Black Panther on its way. It definitely looks to be a great movie, and it looks to be telling the story of what happened at the end of, the entire end game and what's going to happen, going forward. Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel have no relevance to the story whatsoever. None whatsoever. Wandavision showed consequences to what had happened when she lost her thing. Falcon Winter Soldier, consequences to losing Captain America and having to, redo the system and stuff in place of him. Loki, consequences to him taking the Tesseract and dipping out. You see the difference here? There's real stakes involved when these shows were made and put together, whereas Moon Knight is just there. Miss Marvel just kind of showed up, and She-Hulk just kind of, showed up. I mean, I'll give him that. The blood transfusion, you just want to do the car accident in the blood, that's fine. I can deal with that, whatever. That's not a big deal. But
yeah, that wouldn't change. I was good with that. That was a good change.
That was fine. So with that. But Miss Marvel, again, not as using humans and stuff like that, and making her a mutant.
They made her a Green Lantern.
Pretty much.
It literally made her a Green Lantern.
They made her a mutant and took freaking Green Lantern's freaking projection abilities. And they just, crystallized them?
Yep. It's hard light construct. Come on now. What does it sound like?
That's literally Green Lantern. So they literally just, all they did was crystallize it. Like, it just looks prettier on screen. It's shiny. What was the point of making her a mutant? There's absolutely no reason for it. Like, you want to introduce the mutants and stuff like that? You literally have made the announcement for Deadpool 3, which I'm excited to see, bringing back Hugh Jackman. That was your that's fine. You can boo that all you want to, but it sets up for his having the last appearance and stuff. But it was a perfect introduction for mutants, freaking with Deadpool, because again, it's Deadpool. He's going to be brought in with Wolverine being freaking full-fledged mutant, and you can introduce them from there and run it. You didn't need to bring in Miss Marvel as mutant. That was completely
it was a waste. It was a wasted series.
There's been a lot of wasted series. If they had even done something where it could have been the Young Avengers versus the Thunderbolts, that's a thing. You can set that up somehow.
Whack that ass.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, there's still some level of consequence for what's going on. We know they're there. But do we care they're there?
No,
Not really.
we care as much as we care about seeing a World War Hulk movie with that version of Scar.
That's not scars. Scars. Look, scars are cool. Chicks dig scars. It's like a keloid or something. I don't know what that is. Look, I'm sick of looking at that.
You thought I wasn't gonna mention that travesty?
Look, look, I already mentioned. I don't even know what's up with the haircut. Look, hey, yeah.
Stan Lee got a hold of him.
Look, shout out to Boss Logic because he did some mock-ups and stuff like that that looks so much better as far as what was.
Did you see the latest one with the war paint?
Yeah, I see. I saw all of them. Like I keep notifications on his stuff. Like he does great work when it comes to setting up looks for characters and stuff like that. Again, Marvel, you need to consult this guy a bit more if you're not already about how some of your characters and stuff should look. Because again, we want to like I don't mind having new versions of characters to a degree, but keep them freaking within their genre. Like Hulk is supposed to be menacing. And so like that, like people like feared Hulk when we had him come out and he raged out, stuff like that. We had to bring out Hulk bust all stuff. People were scared of Hulk. That's the Hulk I want to see. But the smart Hulk and stuff like that, it was a freaking joke the entire time.
And I got a question, Marvel head. With Hulk being on Sakaar, and we know he wasn't Professor Hulk, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How did this version of Scar come about? Because this version looks like Professor Hulk's son and not Hulk's son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure how
can we figure that out.
I'm not sure how they're going to spin this and stuff like that.
Either way, Hulk smashed.
Hulk's always smashed.
Yeah, that's the thing is he is going to smash. Like that's just his thing. But yeah, I don't know how they're going to play this out.
It looks like he smashed the Jolly Green Giant though. For that version,
Smash Shrek and Fiona.
That might be Fiona's kid. We might want. Yeah, I'm saying. Hey.
Let's go over to a different
universe
and borrow real quick. But look,
that's how you could explain it. He could be like from the animated, Agents of Smash show. That could because even that Scar was intimidating. So no, it can't be that one.
I mean, I'm just thinking that we're gonna get the reference to freaking, and I can't even remember her like Kiara. I can't remember.
Kiara, the old strong.
Yeah, so we may get an
strong.
introduction to her or a flashback or whatever, so like that to kind of show and stuff. I mean,
she's
gonna be a dehydrated 70-year-old woman. Watch.
Before we end up too far down this rabbit hole, we have a lot of things to say about this.
Look, man,
we have a lot more things to say about this once Marvel's Black Panther 2 finishes up. We're looking forward to, though, for next year, hopefully better shows involving Echo, Loki Season 2, and I know this guy is very excited about Ironheart. That should be all coming out next year for TV shows. It's very movie heavy. That's why there's only 3 shows so far confirmed for next year.
Maybe they ran out of money for this show.
I doubt it. Ironheart is going to make her debut in Wakanda Forever. So that's a good thing there. And then Armor Wars is apparently been changed from a TV show to a movie. So we'll see how that's slated if they're going to pull something together, because it just sounds like you have the ability to bring in Iron Lad. You got the ability to bring in, the War Machine coming back, freaking probably leading the charge with that, Ironheart, and they're going to put some
Come on, man. Bring back the old War Machine. I want original man.
They're gonna have to strike a big deal for that, but I'm pretty sure he said he clearly wasn't working with them no more.
Hey, you know what She-Hulk made me do? It made me want to go watch Iron Fist again, even though we consider that the worst Marvel show. I kind of think She-Hulk is up there with this. I'm gonna have to watch it again to see if it's actually worse than She-Hulk.
You're just putting yourself through the ringer for absolutely no reason.
You let me know how that turns out.
I'm saying.
If you guys haven't already hit this lovely subscribe button, it's in the bottom right corner of the video. We've been here almost 20 minutes. I don't have anything else to add. Do you two gentlemen have anything else to add?
Look, I'm impressed that you use an SAT word in the show.
Thank you.
Look, I got faith in Marvel to do a good story or bring it around at some point. But again, these seem like quite a few missteps along the way. But again, I'm trying to give them benefit of the doubt as far as growing pains for doing the television stuff. They did change the series from 6 to 9, so it seems like they got something going. They may start changing up some of these episodes and stuff, making them longer. and taking some of this fan feedback. But again, we'll just have to see how it plays out over the next, year or two as far
They
as
just made them longer so they can make them that much worse. This is one of the few times. Nah, this is the one of the few times that Will Barker has not said, "I can see what they're doing."
I really can't.
That's horrific.
There's possibilities of what they can do, but I don't see them making, general strides towards it at this point in time. So Young Avengers, New Avengers, they're on the table. X-Men way down the line, is on the table. But again, I think they're on the other end of the table, and that's a long ass table in that boardroom. So we'll have to.
And nobody's looking down at that end.
Not anymore. Not with any glimmer of hope. But you can always hope that there's some amazing content in this playlist for you to check out here at Geek Variants on day 26. We're 30 days.